Hi, happy Sunday. Welcome to Just Dylan. I'm sure you've heard this riff or chord progression before, but do you know the story behind it? This week has been about learning this iconic lick that was popularized by Tracy Chapman in her breakthrough hit Fast Car. This lick is so catchy, and the reason why it is so catchy is even more intriguing than the turn of events that dramatically catapulted Fast Car and Tracy Chapman before mainstream audiences. So stay tuned. There are so many layers to the song, and there is no way I can fully do Tracy Chapman's songwriting skill justice in this video. I'm just aiming to start peeling back one or two layers with you. In doing so, I want to get some sense of the thought behind Fast Car. This song is written in the key of A and played with a capo on the 2nd fret. Let's start with the first layer, the chord progression itself, which goes D, A, F sharp minor, and E. In other words, this is the 4th chord, the 1st chord, the 6th minor chord, and the 5th chord of the key. Even though the song is in the key of A, the progression starts on D, the 4th chord of the progression, and not the root A. This is interesting. Why not start on the root? And then the progression ends on the 5th chord. The 5th chord is unstable, so it pulls you to start the progression again, but starting again does not resolve the sequence. Starting again is back to the 4th chord. And so you have to keep going to find resolution, so you only get back to the A or home chord halfway through the next measure. By this time, you're already well into the progression again. As a result, playing the progression is difficult to stop going round and round in an endless cycle. Also, listen how the first measure is a question and then responded to in the second measure in answer. That's the first measure. See how the answer is a response to the first measure, but it does not quite resolve the question. Also now listen how the first two measures are evolved with a different answer in the second set of measures. The answer in the second sequence of measures is different. It's lighter, there's a hope there, but it also does not completely resolve. Where is the home or root chord each time? It's at the end of each question. Somehow Tracy turns home into a question. The question is, are you happy at home? So you're almost forced to keep going because you want an answer to the question and you have to move away from home to get that answer. The first answer is hope of an escape. But an escape to where? And home life continues. And the second answer is hope of a better life. A better life away from home. But the hope is not stable. Reality turns out to be bittersweet because after moving away from home, you end up in the same or similar circumstances, and then eventually back home again. Around and around. So each element and level of the song ends up supporting the story Tracy is trying to tell. Amazing songwriting. The story of being trapped in a cycle of dependence and then in escaping, she finds herself in a similar cycle, only then to end up back home again, around and around. The second layer is how rhythmically the song is also constructed to never quite resolve, also creating a pull to keep going round and round. The main point here is that the home chord A is played on the and of 2 in the first measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So by this time you're rhythmically committed to completing the measure, which then ends up with an and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, begging you to answer with the next measure. Again, even the rhythm supports the story of an endless cycle of unrealized hope, hope of a better life that is never quite reached. All these layers combined end up with a sequence that is tough to stop playing and is very addictive. Brilliant songwriting, and I believe I've only dipped just below the surface of the song. Exploring this has left me with a sense of awe at how incredibly well put together the song is. Even just my brief dip beneath the surface has left me with a profound appreciation for Tracy's skill. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe and see you next time.